Hi, everybody. Welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. My name is Jared. I got an email from Jim Van Sickle. The subject line says, Earth will get hit by lost asteroid, October 5th, 2024, General Conference. So that caught my attention. Doing my due diligence, I wanted to see it for myself. I went to the calendar. I always use this Hebrew calendar. It's hebcal.com. It overlays the Hebrew calendar over our calendar. And so here's the 5th of October, and it is the Saturday of General Conference. And interestingly, it's one day after Rosh Hashanah. There's Rosh Hashanah 1 and Rosh Hashanah 2. It's a 2-day thing. Rosh Hashanah is the first of the fall feast days or holy days. It's the Feast of Trumpets. It's when they change the calendar. In Judaism, there's 4 New Years. And this is the one that we would think of as New Year's, where the year changes. So we'll be going into the year 5785 on the Hebrew calendar on that day. Even though Tishri is the 7th month, that's when they do it. Okay. So it's a significant time. It's within the 10 days of awe that go from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the holiest day. It's the Day of Atonement. And so it comes at a very interesting time. So Jim left a link to an article, and that takes us to IFL Science. Now, I'm going to try and be very clear with this the best that I can. And I think I have a pretty good handle on what I'm about to talk about. It gets a little bit complicated at one point, but just stick with me. Okay. NASA responds to claims lost asteroid 2007 FT3 will hit Earth in 2024. So you'll need to keep this in mind. 2007 FT3, that's the name or the designation of the asteroid. And it's similar to what we've seen before. I have a spreadsheet called Signs, Comets, Meteors, and Asteroids, where we're tracking those 3 things, and they typically have names like that. And I've been just kind of trying to keep tabs on notable objects like this that could end up actually not being an asteroid or a comet or a meteor and turning out to be the sign of the Son of Man, because Joseph Smith said that when it first appears, the people of the world are going to think that it's a planet or a comet or something like that. And so that's why I want to keep tabs on it and take note when, something out of the ordinary is happening. Okay, so let's go back to this. 2007 FT3. Okay. Several news outlets have reported that the Earth may be hit by a lost asteroid this year. According to the reports, if asteroid 2007 FT3 were to hit Earth, it would do so with the equivalent energy of 2.6 billion tons of TNT. Okay, let's stop right there. So usually the explosive yield of nuclear bombs are expressed in tons of TNT or megatons. So if we go to Wikipedia's page for nuclear bombs or nuclear weapons, it says nuclear bombs have had yields between 10 tons of TNT, okay, 10, and 50 megatons for the Tsar Bomba, which was the largest nuclear bomb ever exploded. So what is a megaton? Well, if we go to Britannica, it says a megaton is 1,000,000 tons. So the range for nuclear bombs is between 10 to 50 million. Okay, that's the range, 10 to 50 million tons of TNT. So the largest nuclear bomb, 50 million tons, compared to this, which would be 2.6 billion tons. So this would be significantly larger in terms of explosive yield. Okay, so NASA has lost track of it. Oh, that's great. And it has a chance of hitting the planet on October 5th, 2024. So given that all sounds, to use a technical term, not great, what is really what is really going on? Well, 2007 FT3 is a real asteroid observed in 2007 and is on NASA's Century Risk Table of Objects. that could potentially impact Earth. Okay, so what is Sentry? Just like what it sounds, but let me just read from the Wikipedia page. Sentry is a highly automated impact prediction system operated by the JPL Center for NEO Studies, or Near Earth Object Studies, since 2002. It continually monitors the most up-to-date asteroid catalog for possibilities of future impact with Earth over the next 100 years. Okay, so it's called Sentry, and it's run by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory Center. That's what Sentry is. Okay, so it is also a lost asteroid, as it was seen for just 1.2 days before disappearing from NASA's view. Though the 314 meter or 1,030 feet asteroid became too faint and has not been seen since, it was observed at 14 points in its arc over these 2 days, allowing astronomers to calculate its orbit and look for potential collisions between Earth and it. Doing so, NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies identified 89 potential impacts, including one on October 5th, 2024. Okay, so based on their calculations with this one asteroid, there's 89 potential times that it could impact Earth. Though that may sound a tad alarming, there really isn't anything to worry about. One potential point of impact, or where the asteroid was supposed to be closest to Earth, took place in 2019. As you might have noticed, it didn't. NASA and other observatories track the orbits of objects discovered in the solar system, keeping a particular eye on near-Earth objects that are 140 meters or 460 feet and larger in size that could cause devastation if they were to cross paths with the Earth. So far, astronomers have been able to predict the orbits of known objects up to about 100 years in the future. The good news is that, quote, no known asteroid larger than 140 meters in size has a significant chance to hit Earth for the next 100 years, according to NASA. Responding specifically to claims about 2007 FT3, that's our asteroid that we're talking about, NASA reiterated its response, quote, there are no known asteroid impact threats to Earth at any time in the next century. NASA and its partners diligently watch the skies to find, track, and categorize asteroids and near-Earth objects, including those that may come close to Earth, a NASA spokesperson told The Standard. Okay, so and we're gonna stop there with this article. Okay, so NASA's not worried about it, and I understand why. And I think there's one mistake made in this article. I'll show you in just a minute. So if we go to NASA's website, there's 3 parts of the website that I want to show you. The first one is for Sentry. Okay, this program that they have for tracking potential impacts. Under this part of the website, there are 2 tables that we're going to look at. One is the object table. Here, let me zoom in. See, object table. And then the other one is the VI table, and that stands for virtual impactor. And I think I understand what that means, but we're going to look at that. If you come to their website and you go to impact risk, go down to Sentry, that's where you find this. There's another thing called Scout. I haven't looked into that, but we're looking at Sentry. And then you can also go to close approaches and go to NEOs, near Earth objects, and that'll bring you to here under the data table. And these are objects that I guess they have no worry about them hitting Earth, and they just wouldn't be part of the Sentry program. So these are just other things close to Earth, and it gives you a bunch of different data about that. Okay, so first, going back to Sentry, Century Earth Impact Monitoring, in the object table, the first one, you have all these objects right here. And you can sort these in different ways. Um, so it seems that the object that has the best chance of hitting Earth is this one right here, 2010 RF12. I have this sorted by impact probability. Okay. And so the impact probability is this, and you may not recognize what this is, but if you click on it, it breaks it down. So this means there's a 10% chance of Earth impact, or a 1 in 10 odds of impact, or said another way, a 90% chance the asteroid will miss the Earth. Okay, this is like the most risky so far, this one. And the year range for this, well, no, let's just go directly to, okay, if you want to find the exact dates, so let's go to the page for 2010 RF12. I'll open this in a separate tab. Okay, then it shows you a table of all the predicted impact dates, or like, potential impact dates. Okay, so I did show 100 entries. I don't really need to do that. And for this object, there are 70 times that it could potentially impact the Earth. And you can sort this by date. So the soonest prediction of this posing a threat to Earth is not until September 5th of 2095. I'm assuming that the second coming will have happened by then. That's just me, though. So this has the highest chance of hitting Earth at 10%, but it's not going to be until September 5th, 2095. All right. You can go over here. The next biggest threat is 2017 WT28. And that one has a 1.2% chance of hitting Earth. Okay. And so on. So there's not really too much, I don't think, to worry about, at least, based on this table. The, what was this again? We're looking at the object table. Now let's look at the VI table, or virtual impactor table. I tried to figure out what exactly that meant, because they don't define it on the website. They kind of do. Okay, close out of that. If you go to introduction, it's a little hard to read if you're not familiar with astronomy and you're not a scientist, but you can understand it more or less. And they introduced the idea of virtual asteroids. And virtual asteroids are essentially, if I understood it right, it's like as they're trying to, if they like observe an asteroid, but there's not very much data, then, and they're not like continually observing it. So that would be the case of our asteroid that we're talking about, right? Asteroid 2007 FT3, because it's a lost asteroid. We haven't seen it since 2007. So they have models, and they have all the different possibilities, and each possibility is a virtual asteroid. And so I think what they do is they take the average path, or they take the most likely path based on the different possibilities, and that's what they base this on. And so you have a separate table for those kind of things. Like I think these are mostly asteroids that they've lost, that they only observed for a short period of time. If you go back to the Wikipedia page and you go down to Century Risk Table, it mentions, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it mentions lost asteroids. So for example, there's lost asteroid 1979 XB. And it just so happens that lost asteroid is actually, it's on this table, the virtual impactor table. Let me see if I can find it for you really quick so you can see. Here it is, 1979 XB. Okay. It also mentions, here's our asteroid right here, 2007 FT, the one that's going to be close to Earth in October. There's also 2014 MV. That's another lost asteroid. And so if we go back to the virtual impactor table, 2000, what was it? 2014 MV. Sorry, give me just a second. 2014. No, it's not on here. Well, maybe something changed and maybe I just don't understand it, but whatever. These are not on this table. So the point is, if we sort these all by date, I still think I'm right. When you sort all these by date, the soonest one is going to be 2007 FT3. Now, the date, if I'm understanding this correctly, the date that they put in the article is wrong. You see the date format? It's year, month, day, dot, day. I don't know what the other DD is. Okay. So it seems like it's actually going to be October 3rd of 2024. I don't know what the 05 is, but what I do know, if we look at the next one, there's not a 55th of October that I'm aware of. As far as I know, October ends on the 31st, right? And likewise, there's not a 71st of January. So I don't know what this last set of digits are after the period. The article was saying the 5th of October for this asteroid, but it's actually, I think, the 3rd of October, which actually, in a way, makes it a little bit more interesting to me. Well, maybe it doesn't make it more interesting necessarily, but it's still just as interesting, I think, because if we go back to hebcal.com, the 3rd is Rosh Hashanah. Okay, this is the day that the date changes on the Hebrew calendar. It would actually, on our calendar, Rosh Hashanah starts on the 2nd of October at sundown, right? Because that's how they do their days. It's based on sundown. And so from sundown on the 2nd until the 3rd, and sundown on the 3rd, that's Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, when they change the year, the date. We've noticed a bunch of other, we've noticed a bunch of other interesting things that have taken place on these different feast days. So, for example, let's see, let me go to my timeline, Second Coming, Control F, Jupiter, yeah, there it is. Jupiter was the closest to Earth that it's been in 59 years on Rosh Hashanah. It depends on, where you were in the world when this happened. So for some people, it would have been on Rosh Hashanah. For other people, it would have been the eve of Rosh Hashanah. So I put the eve of Rosh Hashanah just because of where I'm located. But Jupiter was the closest to Earth on Rosh Hashanah. A week before that, exactly 7 days before that, there were 3 asteroids that passed by the Earth. It seems to be part of like this weird thing going on with there's been 3 sets of 3 asteroids. The next set of 3 asteroids came on Christmas of 2022, but that happened to coincide with the 8th day of Hanukkah, the last day of lighting the candles, the final candle. That's when you had 3 giant asteroids that passed the Earth. And on that same day, so 3 giant asteroids, it was also Christmas, it was also the 8th day of Hanukkah, and the final day of lighting the candles on the menorah. And there was also an octet planetary alignment at that time. There was a menorah in the sky that was lit up on that day. And then Yom Kippur of 2023, let me see if I can find it here. There was another set of 3 asteroids that passed by the Earth on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement of 2023. So now we have this lost asteroid, and the fact that it's lost isn't really unusual. Like I said, I just showed you a few other examples of lost asteroids, so it's not like that's necessarily it's not that that's necessarily unique, but it is just interesting that this asteroid is gonna, I guess, be closest to Earth on Rosh Hashanah this year. So that's very strange, very interesting. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put this on my spreadsheet where I track asteroids, comets, and meteors. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Should I put that on that spreadsheet? I'm not sure if it's really noteworthy enough. I don't know what to think, but at least we're making this video to take note of it. Maybe I should, just in case something does happen, then we'll be tracking that. Yeah, okay, that's what I'll do. I'll add it to my spreadsheet. Okay, so anyway, so back here, like I said, to my best understanding, the object table is composed of objects that they have like really observed. They've had like really good observations of it, maybe even continual observations. I don't know. Whereas the virtual impactor, it seems to be less certain. Like they only saw it for 1.2 days in the case of 2007 FT3. There's also this Palermo scale, so you can sort things by this. And so the smaller the number, the greater the chance of impact. And I think they have it over here too. If we go to the object table, here's the Palermo scale. They have cumulative and max, and there's that. So I don't know. Okay, sorry, got lost there for a second. There's the 2010 RF12. According to the impact probability, that's the one that has the highest chance, the 10% chance. But on the Palermo scale, it's not. The one that has the highest chance on the Palermo scale is this weird one right here, 101955 Bennu, or maybe also known as 1999 RQ36. Since we're here, let's just see if this is the highest probability on the Palermo, according to the Palermo whatever. Let's look at the dates on that. So here's the Palermo scale. Let's sort it by that. So this one, the highest probability according to the Palermo scale for it would be the date would be September 24th, 2182. So that's also not even close. And then let's look at the virtual impactor and do the same thing. So, and it's the same one. So this is also on the virtual impactor. Okay, whatever. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. So, it doesn't seem like it's going to hit. I don't think that it is going to hit. And it seems that this article is a little bit off. It's not on the 5th. It's on the 3rd. Unless like maybe they changed it. Maybe at the time that this article was written, maybe it was on the 5th, but maybe they redid it. And now it's on the 3rd. Here, let me just, I don't know why I'm doing this, but let me just do it again. Here it is. See, the 3rd. Right there. It's the 3rd. So I don't know. Maybe they updated it. But that's pretty much it. So thank you, Jim, for sending this to me. It is something to note, but that's going to be it for this one. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also, make sure to share it, and I'll talk to you guys later.